So with no further ado, let's go ahead and hop straight into game, where we can see spawning down in the bottom left-hand corner of Yansu, the red Protoss player. His name is E.G. Huck. We talked a little bit about Huck before the break. Last year, he finished up 2013 at the WCS rank of 52. He's been a very prolific tournament player, Kev, but I think it's safe to say that he's not as dominant now as he once was.
Partly true. In the North American scene, I wouldn't agree with that, though. He's been doing very well in qualifiers lately. He won Shoutcraft America. That is very cool. And meanwhile, we have patch 2.1, and a lot of crazy things can be put on your Nexus, and apparently this is one of them, man.
That's right. We're looking at the Happy Hercules Nexus of Bales. Bales is a player who doesn't have maybe as much of a following as Huck, but who is trying to make that name for himself. With this run through WCS, this is cracking me up, man. How do you do that?
I have no idea. He should know, otherwise it just doesn't pop up there. He went for a very early scout ban, and now he's sending out a second probe, so I think we're going to see some cannon shenanigans over here on Yangtze. This is a very popular map to cannon, and Huck Ben, he's already doing it the right way. He's building his gateway and the assimilator on the south side of his base, which is so much better than having it over here. Because the moment that it gets over here on the north side, and look at the Bills, by the way, he's dropping the first pylon on the high ground. That's going to make things a little easier.
It's going to be scouted immediately. Huck knows what's up, and critically, I don't think Huck has revealed that he knows what's up. So Bales thinks that he's being sneaky, but Huck knows exactly what's happening right now.
Yeah. I mean, just because his first cannon is actually going down on the low ground, I guess he needs that, otherwise Huck can just pull probes. He is cancelling the second assimilator at the last moment, so Huck is just going to prioritize Ben getting Stalkers out as soon as possible and trying to counter this with Stalkers. He's going to make one Zealot so he can get some DPS going as well.
Oh, the probe's going to get surrounded, but does not get... Yes, it does go down, but there is a second probe inside the main base of Huck. And, man, he realizes just how difficult of a situation this is. That low ground cannon is going to finish up, and that means that Huck cannot continue to engage with his probes.
Huck's a little indecisive so far, man. He's pulling probes, but then that means, of course, a lot of lost mining time, but he didn't actually get the cancel on the Nexus. What is he going to do with this Zealot? Is he just going to rally it across the map? That is something that can work, but if Bills picks up on that, he can get a cannon in his own base.
So Bales is he's only going to make these three cannons, and he's going to fall back. Is this enough to stop Stalkers from
yeah, I think this will be, but because I think what Huck is going to do, Ben, he's going to rally a Stalker across the map as well. So Huck is going to rely on the fact that he's going to try to win this game on the other side of the map. Yes, I might lose my Nexus, but I can rebuild because I'm going to do so much damage to you that you won't be able to recover. But I'm actually not sure.
Oh man, I don't know that Huck's going to be able to mine the 400 minerals he needs to start a new Nexus. It's going to be very close. He's got 300 minerals in the bank right now. His Nexus is taking heavy damage. Huck is microing hard with that Stalker, but realizes that he's not going to kill a cannon. Yes, he will start a Nexus in his natural. Yes, it's exactly what's going to happen. But Bales has successfully killed this Nexus. So that's, I would say, mission accomplished with that early game cannon run.
He also didn't really overcommit. Now he's going to get a surround on this Zealot. Yes, he lost 2 probes. I think that's all that he lost over here. Yes, 2 probes, 1 probe on the other side of the map. And he already transitioned pretty quick out of this. I think that Bills is in a fantastic position right now. Of course, this Stalker is going to be very annoying. He's actually going to have 2 Stalkers. So Bills is going to lose a handful of probes. He needs to buy time until he can get Stalkers on his own. But hey, let's not forget that Huck is losing a crazy amount of mining time over here as well.
Yeah, he sure is. He's going to try to harass with this Stalker though, Kevin. He can be a little bit annoying. He's going to all but stop the gas mining here of Bales. Bales is also going to be forced to micro probes very diligently, so this is going to be quite frustrating. We have Bales chrono boosting out a couple Stalkers of his own, and once he has those Stalkers out, he will be able to engage because he's got a substantial hit point advantage.
Yeah, I still kind of like how this is going for Bills, Ben, because even now, right now, he is losing mining time. He's still mining way more than Huck, who is still waiting for the Nexus to finish up. It will be ready in 10 seconds, but now these 2 Stalkers are out. Huck's Stalkers took a little bit of damage as well, so he won't really be able to do a whole lot. Let's take a look over here. He does have warp gate technology, so he might be able to warp in 1 more Stalker soon. That's exactly what he does. But he's taking a lot of damage on it immediately, and soon Bill should be able to get 2 more units out. And then it's 2 gates against warp gates. Good micro over here by the young Protoss Bills as well. This is looking great, man, for Bills.
Yeah, so far so good. Bale's showing us something pretty unique here. Goes with the cannon rush, does the appropriate amount of damage, and then begins the transition. And while he's kind of losing this initial micro battle, he's soon to have 3 Stalkers and a Zealot. but that I feel like should be more than enough to get him to chase Huck away.
He needs to get Huck out of his base though. He needs to take care of that pylon, and he needs to at least start mining comfortably of his bases, because right now Huck is mining again as well. So Huck is going to be able to add additional gates soon. He needs to take care of that pylon in the near future.
Oh, Huck's going to warp in his Zealot. This is going to get picked off almost immediately as we see some cute micro from both players. Actually, Huck gets the better of that initial exchange, and Bales is forced to disengage once more, waiting again. Oh, and he loses his Stalker. Huck is doing a great job of keeping himself in this game, Kev.
Huck's doing a fantastic job, and slowly but steady actually pulling ahead again, because now he is outmining his opponent. He has a Stalker lead as well. This is the moment where Bills is going to have to micro very well. Picks up a Stalker, does take a little bit of damage on his own Stalker, but he needs to secure his high ground ASAP. And then let's not forget, he already has a pylon up on the other side of the map. So the moment that Bill stabilizes on this Ben, did he ever get his own warp gate technology going? I don't think he did, because he was under so much pressure and he was barely mining any gas. So his own warp gate technology is very late.
Hasn't even started warp gate, Kev. So this means it's going to be very difficult for Bales to get aggressive. Surely he's going to realize that, and I wonder how he's going to play this out from here.
So what Huck should be doing is indeed hovering around these pylon, hovering around these cannons, and then maybe get your Stalkers over here so you can get some free damage on this pylon. The moment he takes that pylon out, at least these two gateways are safe, and eventually Huck will be able to take his main again as well. Because hey, unpowered cannons are not always scary. Very well played by Huck. For a second I really thought he was in trouble, but he never really overcommitted, was dancing very cutely back and forth with these few units that he had. Just did a really good job.
Yep. Picks off the pylon, and oh no, Bales walks right across the map with 5 Stalkers, and now Huck's going to be forced to play a little bit of defense. 6 Stalkers now, and that is substantial unit advantage for Bales. Both players going to have to micro a little bit. Huck able to warp in some reinforcements, but he's still outgunned. Oh man, great control though from Huck.
Yeah, great control on either side, as both a lot of Stalkers are very low on HP. That time warp was really preemptive, as he won't be able to get any Stalker kills. If Bills would have been a little more patient there, Ben, I think he would have been able to do a lot more. That's actually not the case. So Huck will stabilize once more. What a crazy action-packed PvP so far, which, despite looking very even right now, has been far from the usual.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, we can tell just by looking at the mini-map, Huck is mining in his natural, but not in his main. What? That cannon rush did some great damage, but it looks almost even at this point, Kev. 23 probes to 25. We've got good tech on both sides. Huck's starting his first Robo, or Immortal, I should say.
Yeah, you know, Ben, normally if I look at this and you say one base, Stargate against Robo, I kind of like this where this is going for the Stargate player, but I cannot use the normal knowledge of PvP right now, because all the timings are so completely thrown off that you're going to have way more Stalkers to protect your mineral line than you normally have in this phase in the game. Just in general, you have a better economy, so the few probes that you lose don't hurt as much as if you only have 20 probes and then you start losing them. So maybe now this is slightly better for Huck, because I'm not sure how effective this will be for Bills, but it's impossible to say. This is kind of crazy and unusual, and I don't have a whole lot of experience playing from this position.
No, I don't think many players do, Kev, in spite of the fact that we've been playing StarCraft for like 4 years now. So first Oracle is out on the map. It looks like Huck is thinking about going with a one-base attack off of 2 or 3 Immortals and about 3 gateways.
Yeah, that's very risky, because he has nothing to break the sentries. I don't think he wants to do that. I think Huck just wants to stabilize. He doesn't want to expand too early, because he doesn't want to die to something crazy, as he's been very blind. All of his Stalkers are a little bit out of position, so he is going to lose a handful of probes over here, but how many? He's reacting to it immediately, but Oracle... Oh no, that's miscontrol by Bills.
Yeah, and what could have been maybe 5, 6 worker kills is only 3, as Huck reacts nice and quickly to it, and this Oracle is going to get chased away.
Nice sign for that. Only losing 3 probes to an Oracle.
Yeah, still though, that does create a worker lead for Bales, and he's going to go ahead and take his natural. Huck retaking his main base was not going to be a one-base push for the EG Protoss. Instead, he's going to be taking his time and continuing to macro up.
I really like that, because if he would invest too much in a one-base push, he wouldn't really get anything done. He wouldn't be able to kill his opponent. At best, he would be able to kill that Nexus, but hey, if you run into a photon overcharge and a couple of good force fields by Bills, then suddenly you're putting yourself so far behind. And you know, it's always so easy that you think like, hey, maybe I should march across the map and try to win, but you're putting yourself so all in for almost no reason, and I like that Huck is not doing that, playing this very safe.
Yeah. So looks like right now it's just going to be more of the same. Both players kind of macroing up, trying to get everything set for the mid game, but in the meantime, it's just scouting as we see that Phoenix from Huck flying overhead and seeing, okay, my opponent has in fact gone up to 2 bases and is going to be trying to play the macro game with me. We're going to just take one more look at this He-Man face.
I like it, Ben.
I love it. It's amazing. Oh, looks like Oracle was coming back once more. Doesn't do much damage, but does manage to drop the Revelation on top of the Immortals of Huck. So Bale's at least able to keep track of his opponent's army for a while longer, as he's doing a good job of staying active with this Oracle. Looks like he might want to bring it back around into the main base, but Huck's already got units in position. Oracle shouldn't do too much more damage.
3 Stalkers can still take quite a while, especially if they're out of position. 3 is the magic number, though. Don't think that you can just kill an Oracle with 2 Stalkers, because you might be able to pick it off eventually, but not before losing 10 workers, and that is not worth it. So right now at the 14-minute mark, Ben, somehow Huck has re-established his main. Well, that's not something that we say very often, but it's been the case this time. Bills is still sitting on a nice work lead. The only thing that Huck has going for him is that he has Colossus a little bit quicker. A lot of people really love the Immortal Archon stuff these days. I'm still a Colossus believer, but the timings are much more thin than they used to be. Like in the old days, it was like, with Immortal Archon, you have to attack in a certain phase, otherwise Colossus get too scary, while we see the Oracle once more flying into the main. This time picking off 5, 6, and he's gonna suicide it, but not before taking 7 probes.
As many probes as possible, and the ultimate impact here is a 10-worker lead for Bales. He's killed 12 workers total this game, and is using that to power ahead economically. He's not making Colossi, Kev. Bales is going to be that Immortal Archon player that you were talking about.
And why I like it for Bales right now is because he already has the Stargate. What I want to say before we saw that Oracle fly in is, in the old days, when you were playing against a Colossus player, there was a limited window for you to attack. Because on a certain point, it was just like, hey buddy, you're really going to need Colossus now. Otherwise, you're just not going to be able to kill that Colossus player. These days, however, we've got that beautiful flying unit that's called the Tempest. And the moment the Tempests are out on the map, then suddenly with your Colossus, you're starting to shiver a little bit. Because, man, Tempests are hella scary if you're starting playing Colossus, because then it's not like in the old days. Colossus are awesome in PvP because they have so much micro potential, and they will always be able to out micro Archons and Immortals. However, if you have Archon Immortal Tempest, then you can just kind of sit back, and then these Colossus are often forced to take a fight that they don't really want to take, because Colossus, hey, they want to shoot and run, but suddenly there are Tempests hammering away at them, four-shotting them at once. So I'm not sure when Huck wants to start thinking about perhaps attacking, which is hard, of course, because he's down economically. But if he's going to give Bills the time to get Tempest out, I start to like Bills' army a lot more than I like Huck's army.
Well, Huck did just plan a 3rd base, which, I mean, by my count, should mean that he doesn't want to attack right now. Bales, on the other hand, is pushing forward on the map with his Immortals, Archons, and Gateway units. I don't know if he's in enough of an advantage to actually successfully make an attack.
His army is pretty scary. Does he have charge on these zealots? I don't think. Yeah, he does have charge. So maybe with one big warp in. It is definitely risky, though. I do agree with you, because he doesn't have that much to break the force fields. Yes, he has an Archon. He has 2 Archons, but still, it's a risky move. He does have a Mothership Core. He can always recall out unless he would lose it. So he's just going to try to snipe this base. What I would like to see him do is maybe like fly an Oracle in somewhere, or maybe use that Warp Prism instead of with his main army. I would try to unload a few Zealots in the main, but Huck is going to scout his army right now, so Huck is definitely not going to reposition.
Yeah, that's good scouting there from Huck, realizing what's going on. There is an Oracle flying around, and it's going to find an opening here at this 3rd base, trying to bait that army to come down. So good work from Bales, just staying active and doing damage where he can. 4 kills on that Oracle right now. And at the same time,
+2 is ready for Bills, +2 almost ready for Huck. I'm not sure if this is the right way to engage, so he's going to get 1 Colossus almost. But good micro by Huck.
A great time warp goes down right on top of Huck's army. Colossi tucked away in the back, but it looks like Huck's army's just getting crushed. His supply is plummeting. He's down to 80 supply against 130. The Immortals are going to come forward. They can reach the Colossi now. 1 Colossus falls, 2 more remain. The last of Huck's units are going to get cleaned up, and look at Bales playing a phenomenal PvP. Starts it off with a cannon rush and transitions very smoothly through the late game. He's going to take out the natural expansion. The 3rd base could fall, but I think he's just going to try to end the game here, as all Huck has are a few Colossi and a handful of Gateway units.
Great attack. I like that he sent a couple of units from the south side as well, because first I was worried that everything was coming via the natural, but the moment he got a lot of damage on that first Colossus, and overall his army was just a little bit bigger, and also +2 already finished up for him while it wasn't ready yet for Huck. But I don't think that really made a difference. He just simply had a lot more. He had charge. And now this Oracle starts chipping away at his Colossus. Overall, what a great game by Bills, man. Just non-stop harassment, always creating a small economic lead for himself.
Oh, cute play here from Bales. To end it up, he's going to drop Immortals on top of the Colossi. He'll kill 2 before Huck's able to warp in any reinforcements, and Huck will tap out. Good game gets called.